Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here with aBlogtoWatch. I'm in San Francisco with Omega, previewing the 2013 ship for the America's Cup with Club New Zealand, Emirates Team New Zealand. So I'm here with the CEO, Stephen Urquhart again.
Nice
good to see you again.
Yeah.
So we were just talking just now about the evolution of the America's Cup, because you've been involved for a while. How has it changed the last few years, especially with the boats themselves?
Okay, I mean, we started in '95. It'll be soon 20 years.
Wow.
With Team New Zealand, we've been consistent with them from day one. Okay, I've been personally to Auckland in 2003 and Valencia 2007. Okay, it's a different setting than San Francisco, which is a unique setting here. You know, to be right here in the bay, be able to watch the races from land, more or less, not like take a boat out and you have no perspective of the race. So I think from that point of view, you know, each America's Cup, I think obviously I was not in Newport or San Diego before, and I heard there are other places, Fremantle. They're all obviously iconic sailing venues for sure. Now that the boat, I think this really is a breakthrough this year. What these new boats are, I mean, we saw it today in that press conference. It looked like being in an air show, you know. I mean, it looked like a 380 wing. It's even bigger than one.
Yeah, it's huge.
It doesn't look like a sail to me at all, because I would imagine a sail being something that would give with the wind and that would push the port.
It's very rigid.
It's very rigid. It'll move a bit like the wing of a plane.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that. One, I hope able to go on the boat one day and do a little training to see it in a bit of wind, how everybody feels. They must. I mean, the speed they get is unbelievable.
How fast do they go now?
I think go up to 50. They can go up to 50.
How much faster is that than, I guess, your average, yacht? Because there's the race car analogy. Because most people understand with like a normal car, kind of how fast they can go versus like an F1 car. They get it's like there's 100-mile-an-hour difference at least.
Sure.
Like, what are we talking about with these types of large catamarans?
No, I think, the difference. I'm not an expert in sailing. I've sailed it in my life. I mean, I never sailed that sort of speed, that's for sure. I would say the thing is not so much the actual speed in a straight line, but, water is very unpredictable. It's not like a racetrack, which is flat. You have a corner coming, you have to brake and take the corner and go left. I mean, that's what Dean was telling me the trick about. What happens at that sort of speed is the reaction time is so short, because things change all the time. Winds change direction, and out there you're really alone, and nobody's going to tell you what's going to happen. They have the best technology. They know where they are. They get satellite feed coming in, and they know.
So the viewers, it's very unpredictable.
But very unpredictable, and at that speed, you have much less time to react.
Yeah, it's a very high intensity sport.
Very high intensity.
But I think it's also one, especially here in the United States, not a high amount of awareness. And I wanted to ask, as one of the major sponsors of the team, and you're kind of a sponsor of the sport, do you feel an obligation, or you've been trying in a way to promote the sport itself rather than just sponsor it?
Yeah, I mean, you're right about it. What's funny about this, the America's Cup, it's called America's Cup. America is for most people, it's the US, forget the continent. And in fact, it's maybe not here where it's known the most. People know much more about America's Cup in Europe, for sure, or in Australasia, New Zealand and Australia. So I think there's a big learning thing here. Obviously, America won it the US won it for decades, Everyone took it for granted, America's Cup is mainly against an English team or maybe an Aussie team, and then the Aussies won it back in the early 90s, and now it's come back, and now obviously Oracle want to win it back for the US in a big way. So I think maybe the fact it's taking place here, there's a strong American team that's out there, the flag is very prominent on the boat. And I think what Grant was saying today, this idea of nation, I like this thing. It's important for a thing like America's Cup, that they want to. It should be this country winning, as opposed to the name of the boat.
So you want it to be similar to the Olympics, which you also sponsor.
I think
so.
So.
People are rooting for a country as opposed to a team.
I think it's good.
That makes sense. That's worked in a lot of different sports.
I think it's good. It's not an individual sport. It's a team sport. I think the country should be behind it, and I think that's what I like about the Team New Zealand. Obviously, they have sponsors. Obviously it's called Emirates Team New Zealand. We're there. We have other brands that are there, but the government is also behind it, and that's I think is a great initiative that the government like New Zealand would be behind it. Even if it's a small way, they invest money So I think this.
Well, I think what's interesting about this racing sport is that most racing sports is an individual, like a car. It's one driver.
One driver.
But this requires a whole team.
You bet.
And so you can really get behind it.
Unbelievable. And
So
every person on that boat has a role to play, and then.
Yeah, and I think I know it's interesting, but it's hard for most people to access it mentally because most people don't have a boat, don't go boating, and of course we all know that Larry Ellison is so involved in the America's Cup. What has his personality done to make this kind of a weird and wild kind of event?
You say weird and wild. I'm not sure those are the words that wild maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, he wanted to win this. I mean, he's a sailor, avid sailor. Everything he does it with great intensity. I think we all know this. And he's a winner. He wants to win, and so he won the cup back, and now he wants to defend it by hook or by crook. He's going to put everything behind it. He's got a great team there, great boat. But I think it's going to be a very good fight out there, and it's pity the number of boats. But at the end of the day, I think the three best in the world today are there.
Yeah, definitely.
I
There's
think
three teams. So what is it about the New Zealand team that you felt such a good connection with that makes it feel like a great fit for the brand?
I think it's a learning process. We started off with them. We could have taken another back then in '95. I wasn't at Omega then. I don't know how it happened exactly, more or less. But Savita Blake, we met up with him. We decided to go together. And I think we built up. I think they're a very genuine team. They're very genuine people. The Kiwis love sailing. They're all sailors out there. You go to Auckland. I couldn't believe in the harbour of Auckland to see this.
Yeah, a lot of boats.
And they're very genuine people. They really believe in what they're doing. It's a small country. I think everybody knows, like in many years, the best sailors today probably in the world are Kiwis. Even he's got a few on board, Aussies.
That's what you get with an island country.
Yeah, it's an island country. I agree with you. And but coming back to your question before, maybe this America's Cup will give a little bit opening to the sport in the U.S., which we hope it does. You know what Grant was saying about the guy from Wisconsin watching the TV has option between NASCAR and sailing. Maybe this will change a little bit. If it's, and I think the venue that's been chosen here, I think everybody agrees on this. It's a fantastic venue.
I think one thing that's important is, when you see the boats from far away, the cameras far away, they just like little objects moving. But when the cameras are close, then it's like totally
it looks like
different.
very tame. You agree? Even the day we saw it, it's just
just smooth, calm,
little sail. But when you're up there close, I tell you, it's really
beautiful. And so we have, of course, a limited edition watch celebrating your continued partnership.
We have.
This is a great watch, not just the limited edition, but the core watch it's based on.
Yeah, this is our base Seamaster from the early '90s. We developed it in the early '90s, '91. It was the first new Seamaster we made, in fact, from the original models of the '50s.
This was the Bond watch for a while.
That was initially the Bond watch in blue with a blue dial,
right?
Not chronograph, and then it developed into the America's Cup watch. The first ones we ever made were also the same model. In fact, one of the journalists was wearing the watch from 2000, the silver dial,
right,
and bezel. And this has been developed size-wise. It's a new chronograph movement, 3330 with a column wheel, coaxial, ceramic bezel, a very sort of distinctive way of telling the five, a bit less obvious than what we did last time, which was the 5 balls for the countdown. Here we have them in the counter here. I think personally I love the ceramic bezel here, which is beautiful color, beautiful intensity. I love the rubber strap, and I think it's a really cool watch.
Now, tell us from a marketing perspective where you feel that this particular model fits in with all the different chronographs you have. Because of course you have Speedmaster, and then at the different end you have the Seamaster Planet Ocean chronograph.
Yeah.
And so this one, share with collectors where you feel this fits in. Who is this right for? How does this fit in price-wise to sort of the overall spectrum of Omega chronographs?
Okay, price-wise a little bit lower than the Planet Ocean because it's not the 9300. It's a 30 caliber. No, I think this is okay. The timing in that respect is important for sailing, but not in the same way as it is for maybe some other sports. Much more intense. I just think the look at this watch is a very sort of it looks like the Team New Zealand boat. If you saw it today, black and red, very predominant colors,
definitely.
and I think it's a great size. And this is, I think what's nice about this actual design, it becomes like a classic I think this bezel here also is
that unique
really
bezel.
Unique bezel, fantastic. So, it's I think it's linked now as much as it was one for many years. This is definitely the America's Cup look we've had the last 20 years.
Those hands are great. I think
The hands are
everyone loves
beautiful.
those hands, and
Yeah.
I like how what you have is a model that has features of different areas. You have more accessible price, but
Sure.
then you have the ceramic,
Yeah.
and then you have the silicone in the movement as well as that column wheel. So great watch. So again, this is the 2013. This is the Omega Seamaster 300 chronograph limited edition
Emerson Museum
ETNZ.
ETNZ.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.